Nothing seals the deal.
Okay, right, let's get started. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over what's it called this week. So today is the last trading day for the week, the 7th January 2022. Today's Friday, obviously, and we've got the market gonna be closing in about a couple of hours time. So we're just gonna be looking at this week. So I'm a firm believer that the market at least gives you a minimum 10-to-1 risk to reward, right? And then we're gonna be looking at, had we had like better trained eyes, better risk management, better understanding on the markets, could we have caught those 1 to 10? Okay, and then I'm gonna mostly be focusing on the majors. Um, so okay, cool. Let's get started with Euro USD. All right. So we've got the third was the first week, first Monday, and then obviously we've got today, right? So we're going to be looking at anything on from here, but just looking at how the market is very, very sideways. Okay, we just got this, got that, and the market from ever, like, even from the start of December last year, it's just been in this range here, going sideways. So for me, I know I didn't trade Euro USD. It was just sitting up until it comes up into some structure point. I've got the SC sitting here, sitting up there, and then I've got the extreme sitting up there as well. So those are like the main points that I'm going to be looking for. But just in here, let's see what the market did. Let me also give me a quick second. So I didn't. This one didn't have it. Okay. Why is it showing me those lines? You know what? Let's go over here. Doing this one now. I wonder. Also, I'm expecting a call, so I might have to, mute myself for like 5 minutes, and then I'll be able to carry on. But let's hope I get that call afterwards. Okay, cool. Let's come back down into here, right? Okay, so we saw the market opening up around here, the third. Okay, and as I said, we can see we haven't really done much. We're not really trading in any specific area. The only thing I would have seen, would be this made a new high, okay, like that. So this would have been like the whole SC, but as you can see, we kind of traded below that, and then this being that leg here. But as I said, all of this here is just order flow because structure will still be maintained by up there. So for me, I'm not even gonna bother looking at this. It's just noise really. Let's move on to GBP USD. Okay, so GBP USD. So here we can see this was that previous low. This was the redistribution that caused the break. So this turns around and becomes our SC, which is where we are trading now. And then this distro here becomes our extreme. Okay, so point of interest number one, and we can see, we've accumulated, there was a nice accumulation in here. Unfortunately, unless we were in from the sell from up here or from here, this buy would not be ideal, unless obviously we're hedging. But we can see, there's this distribution happening now. It is looking like it might turn around and become a reaccumulation. But as I said, this is just the SC, and then we can reaccumulate, for example, and then come back up into this extreme, which is where we could be looking for a new low. Having said that, what did this week provide? So we can see it didn't give us any booth. Okay, but this was one trade that we was looking at. It did come to about 80% of the SC, and if you was to go back and we was to look, yes. Not most bit there. Okay, we can see this was the trade that we would have been looking at right in here, and then this is the high of that SC. This is the high of that SC that we could have caught. And then price did give about an 8-to-1 minimum risk to reward, but as I said, it didn't give us any booth or anything as such. This was the previous high. This to me is nothing. This is just a reaccumulation. Hence, this is just a continuation. This is not the new high, which means this is the this is what's holding it. And once when we do, if we trade in there, if we get a nice distro, but again, looking at the time where we are now, looking at the day, unless Monday gives a nice one, then we come down, break this and break this, then this will be a good little play to trade. As I said, until it doesn't trade above that, then we're good. We're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 drive as well. So as I said, GU, so EU we didn't get anything, GU we didn't get anything, but the market did give us at least a 8-1 RNR. But as I said, for me, I'm really looking on the 10-1 minimum. So that's EU, GU, not so much. Let's move on. Let's do AU. I wonder. Okay, so going back to this week, the 3rd of January. There you go there. So the second, the market opened, that was the Sunday. And this is the price action that we just traded this week. So let's look at, what did the market give us and what we could have called as a minimum 10-1. Okay, so looking at this, we can see just even looking at the lower time frame structure, we got this low, price then pushed in. After breaking that, we've got this as the high, okay? And I guess, somewhere in there would be that reaccumulation, which is where price tapped in here. And then here we can see 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, we can see the creek, we can see the break, and this being the shakeout. Took out all of the liquidity that was sitting here. And we can also see, it wasn't just any type of shakeout. If you look at the session, this was 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, so there's London price action in there, okay? So this is of a significant area. So we're going to put this as a reaccumulation. This is the break, bullish order flow. This becomes the accumulation here. Accumulation, okay. And now, so if I was looking at this, let's just say, Sunday, if I was doing like my market projection, I'll be looking at this area here. This is my slingshot, but it's a slingshot order flow slingshot. So I'll put that in here, order flow slingshot, and then so this is my 8 o'clock candle in here. So that's my London open price. Okay, and we can see there's Asian low here as well. So price could trade below that SC and come back into that London open. And then this is what's holding bullish. Okay. Right. And then even if you were to look here as well, we have got the London open right here, 8 o'clock. Okay, cool. So those are the two areas that I'll be looking at. Either price coming down into this extreme or price coming down into this slingshot here. Now a couple of ways we'll be looking at this. So if price comes into here, trades into that imbalance, and then does that, give us a new high, for example, after the pullback, then this, I'm not looking at this anymore, so it all depends to what this week price action give us. So let's see. We'll just come up to like a 3 hour and then we play. Okay, so we've got that. This is the retracement that we like to look for. Come back to the 1 hour now. Okay, so let's look at what we do have here. So now we can see this distro kicking off. Okay, now this distro so far it's done something. It broke this. It broke below this low, so it does have some sort of cause and effect behind it. And we can also see we've got the trading range. So we've got the premium supply, buyer's climax, automatic rally. We've then got the secondary test. Does come back into it. Let's just see if it does come back about 50%. Yep, there you go. So it comes back about 50%. So it's valid. And then we have got the UT, and then we've got the UTAD breaking this. And then so this is like a slingshot, and this is the extreme that we'll be looking in this leg. Okay, so what I mean by that is price could do this. We could look for a little distro in here and do that, and then test entry here and then do that. So okay, so we can come in from a sell to get to this area, and then we can get in for a buy to go up. Okay, so let's look at this. And again, the one thing that I like to look for, I can see there's the London Open, and then obviously this is the New York right here. So we'll know if we're playing into that. Okay, cool. So now let's just see if we do get this kind of pullback here, and then we could be looking for that sell in here to go down. So right now we can see, all right, so we've got a booth in here. So you see that made a new high, low. Yep, okay. So to this point, what I can do is I'm going to look for confluence. I can put this up like that, do that. Okay, and I can be looking around in there somewhere. Kind of interest. Okay. At the same time, I think I was looking at when I was previously backtesting it. Okay, so it's not this one. It's not with this broker, but there was this 200 minute candle sitting in here. The price trades nicely back up. Okay, but either way, let's see what our price does coming into it, right? There's our distro there. Okay, so first one of interest we could be looking at is this slingshot here, and then this extreme here with our stop loss somewhere there. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we tapped into the slingshot. All right, now we're currently New York price action. All right. Okay, we traded through that now, and then we're coming up into here. So this is the extreme. Let's go down and let's see what we've got. Okay, and then so I'm gonna pause, but go ahead and mark, and like train your eyes right now. What are you seeing? Go ahead and annotate. If you can annotate. If you can't, then just let me know. Or if you can't annotate, then just shout it out. Okay. So what's that?
Accumulation.
Accumulation here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, secondary test spring.
So you're saying this is accumulation here?
Yeah,
Okay, why is that?
I don't see a distribution.
Okay, that's fine. So if I do something like this, 1, 2, free drive.
Oh, it's not UTAD, but upthrust UTAD.
Yep, yep.
Uh,
So right now, all we need is, would that break? Entry of here, and then down we go.
oh, I didn't see it.
Okay, and boom, so there you go. So are we trading into the extreme? Yes, we are, right here. Okay, and even if you was to look at this,
Yeah,
as I said, the only reason why I don't like this is because this is Asian price action, as we can see here. But nonetheless, the price action was there. There's the 80%. Okay, so we missed it, but we definitely trade into the 50%, which is here. Okay, there we go. So we earn a valid point of interest. We're at the extreme. This is the stop loss, and this is the 50%. Okay, there we go. So any booth to the downside, it makes sense. And for me, is this here. Bearish order flow. There we go. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So now we broke it there. All right. So we could now look for the same thing. There's the 50 and there's the 80. Okay, now could this stop loss get hit? Even though we've got a booth? The answer is yes, because we could do that, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this could be our U-turn.
Yeah.
And then come down. If we do that, if we get that, then that's fine. Okay, we just have to wait. As long as we don't get anything trading above this. Oh, sorry, above the purple line.
Above the
Okay.
extreme.
This is the stop loss of the extreme. This is the high of it. If we trade above, then we're back to bullish.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay. What is that? There you go. Okay. So let's wait and see. Okay, so now we definitely broke it if we didn't break it before. So boom, there we go. So there's your entry 1. That 50% got activated. Okay. Now what I also like to do sometimes is I like to look for that confluence. Okay, so there's that 88.8 there. There's the 80% of that retracement lining up with 80% of that, which is good. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so now trade managing it real quick. Reduce risk. Where if it does that, then upon making a lower high and a lower low, when we do that, then we're going back to we're going to break even. Okay, so there you go. So we're currently break even, and boom, it didn't the 80% didn't happen. So this at this point, this trade got deleted now. Take that, take that. Okay, so there's that. This is a 3-1 right now. Now we could be looking to take some partials here because this is the Asian price action that is still intact, and we can look to come back into this area here. This will be our TP2, but then remember we're looking to come down into this area to take a buy, isn't it? So this could be your overall take profit area. As I said, so TP1 here, TP2, these equal lows, or where liquidity is sitting down here, and then this is TP3 here. Okay. So this is where we're looking. So this, come back to 1 hour. Okay, so all right, so there you go. So there's that, and then this is that trade that we was also looking at. Now I wouldn't normally have this. I wouldn't normally have a what's it called, a entry limit in there, because this is my slingshot. My slingshot is here, right? But what are we getting? We're getting a accumulation print in here. This is the spring, and then we boofed already. So even if you did have a small risk sitting there, okay,
Yeah.
we price did give us a chance to go to break even and take some partials because we cleared this high. Okay, but I'm not gonna count that. I'm only gonna count the sell. Okay. So now if we look at this, so this is a 17 to 1 that price gave down to this area in balance. So this is one market, so I'm going to put this here, AU 17 to 1 RNR. Okay, and we're going to come back and we're going to look at what other markets. So there's AU. All right, now let's move on. So AU.
So as it stands, as it stands with AU, are we looking for sales for next week?
Okay, so I'm looking for buy and sell. So I'm looking for, because as I said, we've done that move here. We've accumulated in a area of demand. We have there's our break. I'm looking for next week to do something like this, tap us in here, and I'm looking to partial out here, because this is that distribution that caused this break. So I'll take partial here. At the same time, I'll look for distro as a hedge
Okay.
to come down, maybe lower of some sort. Okay, so let's move on to CAD-J. Okay, CAD-J again, very simple. We can see accumulation that happened in this SC here. Okay, we can see the booth and we can see the continuation play, and we're trading back into that lower order flow extreme. Okay, so this, if you want to drop it down to maybe 45 minutes. Yep. Okay, so where the market opened with there. Okay, so this is where the market opened, right? There's nothing here that we could have looked for, but as soon as price did that, this becomes my interest now. From this leg to this leg, okay, to this leg, okay. So a couple of things that we can look for is reaccumulation. This reaccumulation is also the SC. What SC is that? Order flow SC. And then this, the last push down, is our order flow extreme. Okay. So we could go ahead and place a limit here because we're bullish times 3 on GBP CAD. Okay, we could go ahead and place a limit on there. And just to make well, we don't know where the high is right now, but just to make a new high here or here or here, where price is going to stop and retrace, that's already a 14-1. Okay. So now all we have to do is we just have to wait for price to come down into here or here, and then we look for buys. That's what we do. We're looking for buys. So let's see. Okay, so price is now trading into this. This is where a lot will go off, and we can go down into the lower time frame. And what we're looking for the lower time frame, we're looking for some sort of accumulation, some sort of change of order flow. Okay, so we're getting something is creating. However, we haven't taken out supply yet. So I would like this price action to get taken, do something like that, and come down. This so far is okay because this can be the SC of this leg, for example. Okay, and there you go. Bullish. Okay. Right, so we're looking for price to come back down, and ideally I'll be looking for this area, and I'll be looking for this area here. That's the extreme. Oh, okay, so we're trading back into that, and then to which I could go ahead and throw a small risk on that, because this is a very small 8 pip stop loss. Even to go and make a new high, that's a 5-1 partial. Take out the Asian is 6-1, and this high here is an 8-1. So let's see what happens. And again, so could this stop loss get hit? Yes, because we're trading in SC. This accumulation can easily turn into a redistro. Okay, and then we can come back down here.
Yeah. To the extreme.
To the extreme of the order flow here, 80, 50 and 80. Okay, so we can see there's some sort of compression going on in here. This is fine because if you look at the time, 9-10 o'clock. So ideally, you can do whatever he wants to do. We're looking for this 1, 2, 3. Get that spring that would tap us in, booth, to which we can go to break even or reduce risk. And then once we do that, we can go to break even, for example. Okay, so there you go. Price tapped us in and slingshot. Well, it's not done yet. It will be done once we trade below that. But from the look of it, it looks like it's gonna go. Yep, there you go. So slingshot is done, and this trade is done. So take that out, take that out, take that out, take that reaccumulation out. And speed it up. Okay, boom. So price tapped us in here. Perfect. Frankfurt open, London open, right in here. Now, okay, nice candle sitting here. 30 minutes. I like that 45 minutes. Down with it, 43. 1. I like that 37. No wick to the bottom. And there we go. So 37 and come back to that 1 hour. There's my London Open. Go back to phase 7. Be looking for this trade here to stack up my re-entry. There's 80%. Play 7 minutes. There's 50%. Okay, we're break even on this one. We're break even on this one already. If not, definitely reduce risk at least. Okay. Let's go back to this. I'll come back now. Still 7 minutes for now. Okay, cool. So we're looking for this. So remember, we took a loss up here. Again, I'm not really like trade managing it, but I'm just quickly going over what the market provided this week. So price dropped again. I'll be looking at this as the leg. Okay, so there's the booth, which makes this reaccumulation, and this the extreme. So for me, this buy limit here is still active. Oh wait, this is where we are now. All right, so so this entry maybe would come once when we do this. Once when we break this becomes the extreme of the order flow holding this, and whatever is in here, for example, this reaccumulation becomes the SC and this the MC, for example. Okay, so nonetheless, we've got this 14-1 on CAD-J. So let's add that to our thing. CAD-J 14-1. Okay, cool. Now let's move on. Let's move on to, if we done Euro USD. GJ, I don't think GJ did anything. The only thing I saw before was this area here. As I said, we haven't broken anything up in here. We haven't done anything. So GJ unfortunately didn't give us anything quite nice as the others. GU, we done GU. NJ, I don't really see anything on NJ either. Except from this low here. I don't really see anything trading previously here either. NU was quite an amazing trade as well. Gave us so many opportunities. So let's look at that. So come back to the 1 hour. As you can imagine, NU is pretty much similar to AU, but let's look at how NU was a slightly better trade. There you go. Okay, how NU was better trade than AU. So if we're looking at this, right, we've got this clearly something 1, 2, 3, 4 drive, booth, but then what happens? Break. Okay, it's not holding. This is our let me okay, let's wait. So this is our registrar. This is our registrar. This is our accumulation. Okay, this accumulation, all it did was helped us get into supply here. Okay, and then what happened? We distributed again. Distro, and then we've accumulated again. And then this accumulation helped us tap into this supply right in here. Okay, so there's that. All right, but now it's changing now because look, this distro failed to make a new low, so we're now being maintained by this. Okay, but so far this is still drawing. This is still the one thing that is holding us down. Okay, so there's that. There's our SC.
Right there,
Should I again?
leg, is this where it's maintaining?
No. This is where we're maintaining here. Let me show you.
It made a new low.
This is what's maintaining. This here, that area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's your reaccumulation. And this reaccumulation got us into this reaccumulation, and that got us into this here. But what is this? This is a distro. Okay, are you seeing the market cycle now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect, right? So now that you're saying that, the key thing is the market cycle, but it's where we're trading into. Bearish extreme. Okay, so we've got a distro, and on that distro, we've got a break. Okay, so when we go back now to here, for example, so there's two things that we could do. We could look for a buy here, accumulation. We could look for a buy here, accumulation. But given the fact that we're still bearish, given the fact that we tapped into this bearish extreme, and given the fact that we've distributed and broke order flow, I would be looking for that sell first. Then I'll be looking for the buys as a hedge. Making sense? Okay. So, okay, let's look at this, right? So price tapped in. And I like that 45 minutes there. We can see Asian price action is still intact, but we can see here we have got what we got. We have got 8 o'clock right there. So London price action, London open. Okay, and we've got imbalance sitting in here. So this will be my first point of interest. So something here. Okay. And then if you was to look at where's the UTAD in here. So if you was to look at this last push up to about here, I'll be looking for something up in here. And then again, what we learn is we're going to be going for this SC, okay? We could look to take partial there. So I can see there's a lot of imbalance. So now, normally, if this was normal price action, I would just leave it there. But look, we've got the Asian low is still intact. 530 is still intact. So I am not going to put it there, but I'm thinking of the slingshot might get run. So I'm going to be doing it something like that, okay? This one is a 9 to 1. This one is a 22 to 1. Okay, so we've got that change of order flow. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for confluence and I'm gonna let price tell me that I'm gonna be selling at a premium. I can see there's the 88 as well. So okay, so there's some confluence around that price area. Okay, so that 50 there got activated from this. So we're currently in this, and then I'm going to reduce risk after we broke that low. And then that was it, it's gone. Okay, so there's your 91. Did price give a 10 to 1? There's your 10 to 1. Let's see. No, not quite. Okay, so you was about 2.5 pips away from being a 10 to 1, and you can see here we've done our best to reduce the risk. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to be about 5 minutes.
Okay. Let me get the battery, please.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, all right. So at this point, what I'll be doing is also I'll be looking for something in here wherever we accumulate. Okay, if we get some nice accumulation, we can look to get it back up into this area, for example. Okay, or even get rid of that and go and make a new high. Okay, whatever. So that's that. So let's just say we got a 91 on this one. Where's our chat? So there's NU 921. Okay, cool. Now let's move on. AJ, let's look at what AJ did. Okay, so AJ, we can see we have we've now for me I've put AJ on the back burner just for now, simply because I don't know if this break is the true break or not. So I mean, either way, what we did do was we traded back up into this here, this radiator. Okay, and we can see 1, 2, 3, there's the break, so something like that, and then had to come back down lower. But that's in the future. I didn't really look at anything up in here, but if there is anything,
We look at Cab Chef.
yeah, we can look at catch up. Yeah, as I said, I don't really see anything that I could have caught. It's really in like no man's land. AU, we done AU, we done CAD J, we can't do that. Euro JPY, very similar as well. So we had this nice accumulation in here, okay, but unfortunately, I need to wait for price to come back up into this area here, this redistro, and then up into the extreme for me to do anything. So I haven't really been looking at that, but just from the looks of it, price didn't really do much. Maybe the start of the week, we reacted off somewhere and then we dropped, but then start of the week, we just kind of retrace back. So any sort of profits not taken would have been gone back to the market. We done Euro USD, GJ, we done that, GE, we done that, NJ, we done that. I think we've done all of this, yeah. So this is all like the main pairs that I look at. So essentially, out of the main pairs that I look at, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is 10. We had free trades. Free trades that we could have got over the week. 17 plus 14 plus 9 at a 3 to 40 or risk to reward. Okay, which is not bad at all. Okay. Right. So you said cat.
Yeah.
What was that?
The 3 trades out of your 10 that you look at.
Yeah. So this is my main pairs that I look at. Okay. Excluding DXY. DXY is just for directional purposes, but 10 trades, and yeah. So out of that main 10, 3 this week has given at least a minimum 10 to 1, except from NU give close 9 to 1. Okay, so CAD Chef, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool.
I'm in a sell. I should have come out of it ages ago.
Right, let's do this weekly recap, and then we can look at where we are now. So December 3rd of January. Up in here.
Why are you going back to the 2nd of Jan?
Because this is when the market opened.
Yeah.
The market opened 2nd of Jan. Sorry, 2nd of Jan, 10 o'clock, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
What you're saying you're doing for what is done for the week.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at what is done for the week, and then I'm gonna come up to current price action.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so doing a quick top down. Well, not top down, but well, let's do a top down actually. Okay, so looking at this, we've got this right here. Right, broke. This is higher time frame. We got this. So this is intraday up in here, and then we trade in back into that high time frame extreme, to which we've got change of order flow. Boom, boom. So we've got this here. So essentially, okay, so we can see, so we tapped into that. Now in this leg here, we have got nice distro in here. We've got this as the redistro. Okay, and then now this is, we're gonna, I believe, get the SC. No, we're not. Okay, so that's the high time frame. So I guess we're gonna go down much lower then and look at what prices they're in here. So we're bullish order flow. Okay, this being the SC, this being the reaccumulation here. Reaccumulation. This seems to have mitigated this. We can see that accumulation in here. So yeah, I want to say this might still be. Yeah, the 80% is still there. %80 of the extreme is there. Okay, so that's the new leg. So now what we have to do is just have to wait for that bullish leg to be over, the impulsive move to be over, and then we can be looking for. So what's this? 10 o'clock. There's the New York open. So this is on my SC. Bullish SC. Okay, so look for price to finish this impulsive move. Come back down in here. We look for an accumulation in here, or we try to look for a buy in here. Somewhere like this. Okay, and then currently the current price right now, that's already 12 to 1. So we'll just do that. Okay, so the start of the week is now. Price coming back down. Not doing anything. So the high is this. Okay, and we need to break it. Okay, there you go. Just waiting for the SC. Oh, it's a really messed up price action. It's okay because what we do have is some sort of distro in here. Okay, we're gonna see if this distro helps bring price down. Okay, and it does. Now my alert will go off, and then I'm going to look for accumulation on the lower time frame. So Asian price action not doing anything in here. Okay, now we've got London. Boom. So we took out that low there.
Yeah.
We took that. What we do need is we need price to go above here. Bullish. So we're looking for something like entry, stop loss to go up higher. Okay, boom, we got it. So this happened during London. Let's look at if we get some sort of pullback during New York. So go to 5 o'clock there. Okay, let's look at if we within that time zone we get anything. And if you're looking at this is our reaccumulation. So this is our slingshot. Somewhere up in here. And then oh, that's nice. There's a nice accumulation in here. Accumulation. This is our extreme. So if you're happy, you can set a limit. Maybe about 50% of that here. And we're looking for that one to go up. So London, still with the London phase. Nothing yet. Okay, so we're now New York. Okay, bastard. So that's gone through. So there's that change here. Let's see what it does. There you go. So it came back into the SC. Did we get anything in here? One or two, not so much. No, okay. Now we see how this turns into reaccumulation. So I mean, we did trade into this is the whole of reaccumulation. We trade into an area, but it just didn't give us a nice accumulation that we're looking for, and we're under 1 minute as well. So nonetheless, we'll come back to it. Price made a new high. Okay, now we've got this move. So this becomes the reaccumulation. So this becomes the SC, and this stays as the MC. So this stays as the extreme. So now that we've made this booth on here, this becomes the low, and this is the leg, this is the SC, this is the MC. So we can still come back here and go up, or come back here and go up.
Okay, so what you on the 5-minute chart?
Just letting the market do its impulsive move. Wait for the pullback. So Asian price action kicked in. Frankfurt. There we are, right? That's where we are now. Okay, so unfortunately, we didn't quite get that trade. Now let's go in here and let's see if we could have got something. Because I mean, the market did react from it. It might mean just the RNO might be different. Let's go into here. So this whole drop came to about under 50%. So we traded below this. So we tapped into here. So we didn't even tap into here. We tapped to like the open of this. Yeah, I mean, personally for me, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't know what differently to do to catch this entry. Unfortunately, I don't think there is anything I could have and I would have done, because even if I was to get this, the only thing I guess was to place a limit there, but then to have this as my stop loss, that's the only way I would get in, and that right now is a 3-1. So yeah, unfortunately that, which is also one of the reasons why it's not in here. It's not as my main. So you got to really pick and choose, you know, and the only way you can pick and choose is backtest. That's the only way from backtest. Go look at it. So remember, your thing is to not trade every single market there is in the world. Okay, your thing is to just catch the RNR. But even when it comes to that, look to catch the best one. I'll give you an example, right? Check this out. So every time there's New York open, look at this. The market moves about 26 pips here. The market moves about 30 pips here. The market moves 20 pips here, 30 pips, 30 pips, 25 pips. This one, 40, 50 pips. This is the New York, 20 pips. This is New York, 25 pips. Now compare that with something like GBP USD, for example. $60 pips, 70 pips, 70 pips. This one was here, 30 pips. This one really messy, 30 pips, 40 pips. Then you look at this market here, 50 pips, 60 pips, okay? So I'm pretty sure you're getting the idea, right? 50 pips. Now, this is not to say we need to be catching. This is not to say that we need to be catching pips, but what I'm trying to say is the same session, the same forex market, the same you know, the same leverage with the same broker and whatnot. But if you train your eyes and if you can catch, for example, I don't know, somewhere in here, right? Right. If you can catch a 1 to 10, what I'm trying to say is it will be much easier catching a 1 to 10 during a New York session on one of these majors, okay, that moves 60 pips, 70 pips, 80 pips, 100 pips, than it is when it comes to CAD Chef, for example, or any other like NZD Chef or anything like that. You know, I hope that's making sense. But go ahead and backtest it for yourself. You know, having said that, if this is too much for you as a trader, if this sort of volatility when New York Open opens is a bit too much of a volatility for you, then yeah, of course, you know, go and trade those other pairs. I'll do one last one. For example, let's do EJ. 60 pips, 58 pips. This one really messy. Went down 40 pips, came back up. This one went up 30 pips, 50 pips. Okay. So yeah, definitely look to, you know, what's the word? Definitely look to really focus your energy. Don't just put your energy anywhere and everywhere. Okay. So just to recap, we took with this week, according to the way I look at the market and stuff, free trades, AU was 17-1. CAD was, take a picture. CAD was 14-1. NU was 9-1. So 3 to 40 RNR.
Hey, did you hold those 3 for?
Say that again.
Out. Was it intraday?
Yeah. So it was pretty much as soon as you got your 10, you're closing out. Your TP would hit.
Oh, right.
That's what I'm saying. So that was the back test. Because as I said, I'm a firm believer that the market, especially in majors, especially intraday, with the proper session timing, so New York session would at least minimum give you 1 to 10 in any of the majors. It's your job to look for it. Does that make sense?
Does, yeah.
Yeah. So train your eyes. So then when you're doing it live, when you're doing it as a challenge, or when you're trading FTMO, then you'll be able to do it live with real money, for example. Okay. So having said that, I hope this was informative. Go and backtest it yourself so you can train your eyes as well, just the way that I've done it. And I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, one more thing.
Sure. Go on.
My chart, can you help me set my chart up on my Asia and my, it doesn't look as clean as your on the settings. I don't know. I haven't, it doesn't look
Oh
as...
yeah, because I changed it. It was just today actually that I changed it. I've done this one. But what I'm gonna do is let me send you a new link, okay, and then we can go over it.
All right, okay.